everyone. Let us discuss aphorism 64, 65 and 66 now. We have already seen that Hanuman has given us introduction regarding primary and secondary action in 63rd aphorism. Now we would like to give an explanation that how they are produced, and also would like to give us some examples for that. When there is a primary action, vital force acts in a receptive manner. So it allows all the action of the remedy to create an impression on it. Hence, because of this, what will happen is there is alteration in the state of the health of the healthy man. So after expiry of this phase, vital force seems to rose itself again. The action may be of twofold. One is secondary counteraction and secondary curative action. So if in case it produces exact opposite symptoms, what will happen is the action will be opposite and it will be of the same intensity as that of the primary action. This is called secondary counteraction. And when there is an opposite primary effect is not possible, condition of the organism is produced by the drug in such a way that normal healthy state of the person is restored, and this is called as secondary curative action. So give some examples for. One is, see, the hand bathed in hot water. So when you touch this hand, this is hot to touch. So this is a primary action, and after that phase is left. Then the same hand, when you touch and see, it is colder than the other hand. So when a person does violent exercise, heat has been produced in him. That is primary action. After some time, we notice chilliness and shivering. That is secondary action of the remedy. When is being given to the person, it creates heat in him. After some times, you find breath also feels cold. That much chilliness has been produced in. When arm is kept in cold water, that particular hand will be colder and paler in the initial stages. Okay, that is primary action. And leave it for some time and see that the same hand looks warmer than the other hand, and sometimes it is hot and also red and inflamed. Coffee produces excitement, vivacity in a person in a primary action. When you leave it for some time, you find that there's sluggishness and drowsy. Opium produces stupefied sleep in primary action and produces sleeplessness in secondary action. Opium produces constipation in primary action and diarrhea in secondary action. Purgatives produce diarrhea in primary action, constipation in secondary action. So these are the few examples. Aphorism 65. Primary action is caused by large doses of medicine. This brings about great change in the healthy person, that is, it produces disease symptom. Exact opposite condition of primary action is observed after some time, which is called as secondary action. He is convincing more and more regarding primary and secondary action to us. So even small dose, not only large dose, even a small dose also produces primary and secondary action. But it is perceived only by attentive observer, not by everyone. And living organism produces reaction against it as much as necessary, okay, to restore the normal condition of the health. So this finishes with primary and secondary action of the medicine, and primary and secondary action is very important topic. They ask the question for 10 marks. So here you are supposed to write the aphorism number 63 to 66, where he gives meaning of primary and secondary action. Then in secondary action, again you are supposed to write secondary counteraction and secondary curative action. Okay. Once you wrote this, then you are supposed to give examples for the primary and secondary action, and then give explanation ki in large doses primary action is being produced, also in small doses, but only attentive observer can observe. This is what is it. And next is time phase. Whatever symptoms come earlier after giving is called as primary action. Then we come down to conclusion. Conclusion is when you come to final year, you have a one more chapter in Dunham called primary and secondary action, where elaborately he discusses about primary and secondary action. In this, he is not convinced of primary and secondary action. But as a UG, you are supposed to know what is written here and please write it down. Many a times logically we will not be able to accept primary and secondary action. But now what we have to do is we have to go through this primary and secondary action as it is in the book and please produce it in your paper. And when you come to final year, you can critically analyze primary and secondary action. Okay, so then you will come to know that what makes Dunham to talk those things, and whether you are accepting it, you are not accepting it, and if you are not accepting, why you are not accepting, and if you are not accepting, what is the alternative solution for. Okay, thank you.